What's up guys, it's Jacob and I'm here with my mom. It's actually her last day in Japan, so she's going back tomorrow, and I thought I would ask what kind of things she liked about Japan and what she maybe didn't like so much. So mom, what stores did you like in Japan the most?
Well, I went into Uniqlo several times, so I would definitely say Uniqlo was a fave. And the Daiso store was also another one that I loved going in and seeing all the neat little treasures I could find.
Yeah, you pretty much went to Daiso every day.
Yeah.
So like, what kind of stuff did you buy from Daiso?
I bought all kinds of things, anything from hair ties to folding hangers to...
You bought a lot of towels, I think.
Yeah, we bought the 99-cent towels, and we bought chips. I kept going back to the chips.
Yeah. There's a certain, it's like a blue bag. Right?
Yeah, it's a blue bag. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but they're the plain chips, and it was just my favorite snack.
Yeah, those are actually pretty good. Before mom came here, it's actually interesting because you buy stuff that I don't usually buy. Like, yeah. So mom's buying kind of different snacks. For example, this one is from Top Value. And I would never buy these potato chips. I usually buy like a certain brand that I like.
Right.
So mom comes home with like different stuff every day. So it's kind of cool for me actually. And what about Uniqlo? What's good about Uniqlo?
Uniqlo, I was surprised because I thought when I first went in, I thought, oh, okay, there's some nice things here. But the more I looked, the more I liked. So it was interesting. Going in and trying on stuff. It was a unique experience for me, taking your shoes off and then they give you the hairnet to put over. Right. Sorry, not hairnets, for the makeup. It's funny. Can I tell you a funny story? So when she handed me the net to put on my head, I had no idea what it was for. And so I understood the taking shoes off. I took my shoes off, I went in, and I'm looking at this net going, I'm not really sure what this net is for. So then what I ended up doing is I put my shoes inside the net.
You put your shoes in there?
Yes.
What?
Yes. I put my shoes in the net. And then I thought...
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then I thought, that can't be right. That can't be right. So then I took my shoes out of the net, and then I just kind of put the net on the floor. And then I came out and I asked the staff there, I'm really sorry, but I don't know what this was for. Right. And then she went and got somebody to explain it to me in English, that it's actually to cover your head so the makeup doesn't rub off on the clothes, which makes total sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten that before too, but yes, you don't have to use it. I don't think you have to use it, but yeah, it's definitely not for your shoes.
Yeah, not for my shoes.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
It's for the makeup, and I see it all the time. You go to the store and there's some lipstick stain or something on a shirt that you're looking at, so I think it's a great idea actually.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
that's true. I guess boys, I've seen it before, but
yeah,
that's not something I could have prepared you.
No, that's okay. I worked it out. Yeah.
Okay, and then what did you actually buy from Uniqlo?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what I really liked about Uniqlo is once I started to try the clothes on, I discovered they fit me. So I'm used to, in Victoria, everything, the sleeves are too long for me and the legs are too long for me. So I'm constantly going to the seamstress to get those altered. So it was wonderful to put on the pants and go, wow, they actually fit.
Right. So mom is your pretty typical average Japanese person size.
Yeah, probably. Well,
height-wise,
yes.
And like arm-wise. I mean, the girls here are really skinny.
Yeah, definitely not me, but yes.
But yeah, the sizing would be better in Japan than it is in Canada for you.
Yeah,
Same
everything
as me.
fit me perfectly in terms of the length, which was wonderful. So that's why I kept going back.
And I think you also bought a bunch of bags. I can actually show them.
I did. I bought several bags. I lost count how many bags. I don't even know anymore.
So
I bought 2 of that one.
You bought 2 of these?
Yeah, a black one too.
So this is just Uniqlo's simple zip bag.
Yeah, I used it traveling all over Japan because you can fit everything in there that you need that's important. Your train pass and all the important things, your money, my passport. I had everything right there, which was handy.
You bought 3 bags, I think, from Uniqlo.
Yeah, the other bag I bought, it's in the other room, but it's just a huge bag. So it's super light and you can throw all of my shopping. It went in there. And actually I went shopping the other day at the Sunshine one, spent 5 hours in that mall shopping, and I filled up that whole bag.
5 hours at Sunshine City in
Yes.
Ikebukuro. We're actually staying kind of close to Ikebukuro, so mom can walk there.
Yeah.
Which was pretty good. You actually went there by yourself.
I did. I walked all by myself. I got a little bit turned around and
A little bit lost.
A little bit lost, but I did make it over there, and it was nice to have the freedom of just shopping on my own. So spent a lot of time just wandering around. There's a Snoopy store there, which I loved. I went in there waiting for these guys to show up, and then I thought, well, I'll just hang out here for a little bit. I was in there for over an hour.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got some great things at the Snoopy store. I love Snoopy.
I think this week is the first day that you actually went out alone.
It was the only day I went out alone.
We spent 95% of the time together.
Yes. Yeah, because that was one of the things I learned when I was here too, is to go to a restaurant. It's not that easy as a foreigner. Yeah.
What's hard about it?
I just found that first of all, a lot of the places, at least on a first appearance, they look really tiny. So if you look in the door, it's like, oh, okay, they're not going to have seats because it looks tiny. What I learned later is when you walk through it, there's actually a lot more space.
Right.
The other thing is the menus aren't necessarily in English, so that can be a challenge for me because I don't understand or can't read Japanese. So
right.
Yeah.
I think so. There's a few safe restaurants. You went to Royal Host.
Yes, twice.
Twice.
Once for dinner, once for lunch.
And you went to McDonald's.
Yeah,
alone.
We
right?
had to try the McDonald's. Yeah, so our tour guide Jacob wasn't available. He was probably doing one of these filming things, and so we decided, you know what, we'll just go off on our own. And everything seemed a little intimidating, so we decided on McDonald's.
Yeah, not bad though. Not bad. I mean, did they speak English?
At McDonald's, she tried to speak English. We didn't understand. That was kind of weird because we didn't understand when she was saying, do you want a set?
Sit, yeah.
We didn't. I thought she was trying to say, do you want a seat?
Because for here or to go.
Yes. Yeah, because in a previous restaurant, we had said to go, and then we tried to sit down. And they said, no, you can't sit here because you're to go, right?
Because the to-go cost is different than the sit-in cost now. It changed. It's really small. It's only 10 yen or something.
Yeah, so but still different than Canada. We don't have that, so I was confused by that. And then so you have sets, but in Canada we call that a combo.
Combo, yeah, okay. So when they said set,
I'm like,
so what happened? So what?
Yeah. So I'm like, yes, of course
Yes.
we want the set, or we want a set. And so we ended up with the full meal deals basically. Right?
So you wanted just one French fry.
Yes.
And you got two.
Yes.
And two drinks.
Exactly.
Instead of one.
Exactly.
Okay,
so,
okay.
it was,
So
yeah, we didn't end up finishing, but
it's not a big mistake, I guess.
No.
Because McDonald's here is way cheaper than Canada.
It tastes exactly the same to me. I had the filet of fish and the French fries and the.
It's cheaper though, right?
Yeah, it's way cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Yeah.
Japan, I think, is top 10 cheapest McDonald's in the world.
I didn't know that.
And Canada is top 10 most expensive.
I believe that.
So it's seriously, it's we got to be at least 30% more in Canada.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, things here generally were cheaper. That's why I did a lot of shopping and we did a lot of eating. Yeah, things are, generally speaking, I like that the dollar was almost on par. So.
Oh yeah. You had good timing because I think the exchange right now is $1 Canadian equals 107 Japanese yen, which is pretty good because the first time I came to Japan, it was $1 equals 77 yen.
Oh dear.
So you're getting 40 yen more per dollar. That means everything is 40% cheaper than when I came the first time.
Yeah, more shopping.
So you're really lucky.
Yeah.
My first trip was pretty expensive.
Yeah, it really does make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that was lucky. Right. So what was your favorite food the whole trip? Favorite Japanese food?
Favorite Japanese food. Okay, so before I left for Japan, I would have said tempura.
Right.
But when I came to Japan, it's actually, and I don't even know the name of it, maybe you can help me with that, but it was kind of like this we sat in front of a grill, and there was a pan-fried thing, and they just kept adding things. So I think it was noodles and cabbage and egg and meat and cheese, and just terrific. And they cook it all right there, green onion, and they flip the thing over, and it was really, really good food. We waited for a bit for it, but it was well worth the wait. I think that was in Hiroshima that we did that.
So in Hiroshima, we ate Hiroshima's Okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, good. So we also had the Osaka style one.
Yes, that's right.
And Mom didn't like it as much because it's a lot of flour.
Yeah.
It's a little more cakey.
Yeah, it wasn't the crepe was not as thin, and it was a little more moist or wet.
Right.
I can't describe it.
The Hiroshima yaki is quite a bit lighter, which Mom usually prefers lighter food, so that's probably why you prefer that.
Yeah, it's delicious. I'd go again and again.
That's one of my favorite foods too in Japan. So
I also like the barbecue. The barbecue when you go and Jacob does all the grilling. Yeah.
So yakiniku, yakiniku.
Yes, I like that too. That was really good.
That was actually our last meal tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it had the train that brought you the food too.
Yeah, it was almost like kaiten sushi. It comes directly to your table. That was
cool.
The first time I've seen that for a yakiniku restaurant, actually. But that place was really cheap.
Yeah, that was a good deal. Yeah, everything's a great deal here.
So you like the food that's cooked in front of you?
Yeah, I seem to. Like, I think it's fun to watch them make it, and to see how it's put together, and to know even when they're making it, you can see that it's fresh when they're putting it in, right? I like that.
It's kind of entertainment at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
It's entertainment, and I love that you all sit together too, right? And everybody's enjoying it together.
That's right. We have a different food culture in Japan. We share with everyone.
Yes.
Right? In Canada, we don't really.
Yeah. That was actually one of my favorite things about Japan, is that when you go out, food is shared, and it's not just one plate. This is mine. You enjoy yours over there. It's everybody's enjoying the same, and you're talking about the food. You're enjoying the food. Yeah, and you can just keep adding food in as you need it, or every time you want to try something new.
That's right. That you guys were kind of confused in the beginning, because in Canada normally we order once. You order once and everything comes, and then you eat and you're done.
And you don't really share.
And you don't share that much. Maybe if it was a pizza or something, but there's not much sharing going on. Whereas in Japan, it's like you order a little bit. So you order your drinks and the starting dishes first. And then if you're still hungry, order a little more.
Yeah.
If you're still hungry, order more. So it's very, very different than Canada.
Yeah. So that's really cool. I like that too, because everything's hot. It comes out hot.
Very fresh. Yeah.
Everything's fresh. Like when you're eating one plate, you get to the end of the plate. It's like let's say you're eating bacon and eggs. When you get to the end, the eggs and the bacon aren't as hot, right?
Right, because you have the full plate. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe that's also why I like the grill. Everything's super
hot.
It's
super fresh because you leave the meat raw, and then when you want to cook it,
it's done.
Boom.
Yeah, barbecue too. Yeah.
I was cooking everything.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yes, because I'm not a good cook.
It's normal. You're fine. You're fine. It's just also in Japanese culture though. Usually the youngest person is cooking.
Oh yeah. So okay, that works for me.
So it worked out, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick pause. I just want to double check. Okay, it's still recording. Okay. So, what were some things that like shocked you in Japan?
Okay. I think back to the first day that we came in.
Right.
Wheeling our suitcases along, and I remember we rounded. I don't know if you remember this, but we rounded the corner. Come around the corner. And there's this little kid, and I swear the backpack was bigger than him, and he's just walking along by himself. And I was kind of worried. I'm like, Jacob, like, where's the parent? There's all these people, and there's this little kid.
8 p.m. maybe?
Yeah, it was late. It was late. Too late for. But he was too young to be out by himself. He was
probably 8 years old.
Yeah.
So, in Japan, it's quite common not all the time, but it's quite common that kids will take the train alone. Did you see kids on the train?
We did see the kids on the train.
They wear their
little kids.
They wear their hats.
Yeah.
It's pretty common that they'll walk home from school alone. The one that we saw, so it was 8 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which is weird, but he was coming home from Juku. Juku だと思う. Juku is like cram school. So it's like school after school.
Oh, even at that age, school after school?
School after school, because they have tests to get into elementary school. You can't just enter elementary school. You need tests to enter elementary school, tests to enter junior high, and tests to enter high school, and then obviously university. So you can't just, if you want to get
advance them until,
if you want to get into a good school, you have to write the entrance exams. So they they study after school studying. We call that cram school in English, but we don't really do that. The only people who would do that are like pre-university, I think. They would do that.
Okay, yeah. That's new for me. Anyways, when I saw that little kid, I sure worried about him.
Yeah, Mom was like, should we like watch him? We should watch him.
Yeah, make sure he's okay.
And I was like, he probably lives really close, so I'm sure it's fine, and this is pretty normal. And I explained this to you.
He didn't look in distress or anything. He just was going about as a little man going down the street.
Little man.
Yeah. He was just this little guy.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Were there any other surprising things? I can think of one, actually.
Oh, yeah?
What do you think about the toilets here?
Oh, yes. Okay, should I tell my first experience about the
Sure.
toilets? Okay, so my first experience was after a 10-hour flight, 10 and a bit hour flight getting here. Get off the flight, and it's like, okay, find the toilet. I get in there, and it's like nothing I've ever seen before. There's buttons all over the side of the toilet, and so so anyway, so I'm in there, and I'm like, I was looking at the buttons going, okay, how am I gonna flush the toilet? You can't not flush the toilet, it seems rude. Anyways, so I'm looking, and I'm like not figuring this out, because it's
all Japanese, right?
All Japanese, and many buttons.
There's like 20 buttons, right?
Oh yeah. So I couldn't figure it out, so I'll be honest, I didn't end up flushing it, and I felt really bad, but
that's okay. The airport toilets usually will flush themselves.
They didn't. I don't think this one did, but I don't know.
It usually will.
Maybe it did. I was a bit horrified about it. But then now I'm so accustomed to there's a button, or you wave your hand in front of the sensor and it flushes, or it flushes like you said on its own. I'm so accustomed to that now that, like, for instance, tonight we went to a restaurant and I went in there. And I'm looking for
the button.
Yeah, for the button or the sensor, whatever. Nothing. So I'm thinking, wow, like I thought I had this figured out. And then as I got up to go, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a flush.
Like it's a handle.
A handle, just like at home. So yeah.
So you're used to the Japanese toilets.
Getting used to this whole thing, but it's I think it's a great idea that they have the toilet separate in the house too.
So that's another thing. In Canada, the toilet and the shower room are often together. Not always, but usually together.
Usually together, yeah. It's in a home, right?
It's a little bit wider, like a little bit bigger than a Japanese washroom, but yeah, they're almost always separate here, which makes sense.
Oh, it totally makes sense, because then you can have multi-use.
Yeah, people can use the shower at one time while someone uses the washroom, and it actually keeps it cleaner, I think.
Exactly.
Because the washroom is not so clean, and the toilet is not clean, and the shower room is clean, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then to top it off, they put a washer in there as well, so for washing your clothes, right?
Yeah.
So which I think it's brilliant.
So yeah, the washing machine is usually in the shower room, which is nice because you can close the door so it's not noisy.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense for building the house because the plumbing is together, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And that's where your clothes are. You're gonna take your clothes off, put them in the wash, hop in the shower. Makes total sense. Yeah.
Do you use the bidet on the toilet?
Do I have to answer this question?
I don't know. Are you shy? You don't have to.
Okay. I have to admit, I just before coming to Japan bought a toilet. A brand new toilet. I did, yeah. So your room, when you come back to stay, it's a new toilet in there. And had I known about the whole bidet and these buttons and what they can do, I probably would have considered getting an upgraded toilet.
You know, you can do it though. You can buy just the washlet, the top part, and put it over your toilet.
Yeah, I saw this on Amazon.
You can get it.
Yeah, so I might be looking at doing that.
So mom likes the washlet.
Yes.
It's heated seat and everything.
Yeah, the heated seat I'm a little bit freaked out about.
You don't like it?
Well, I always think of heated seat like if you sit on a seat after somebody else sat on it,
it feels
heated,
like not clean.
Yeah, so that's
But in the winter, it's nice though.
Oh,
Trust me.
I bet it would be.
In the summer, true, you don't really need that.
Yeah.
But mom likes the washlet.
Yeah, and I think it's brilliant how they put the sink that automatically turns on when you flush the toilet.
You can
to
rinse
wash
your
hands, and you do it all right there, and it
recycles the water.
Recycles the water, which is, I mean, brilliant. I don't understand why this isn't everywhere.
I have a quick story about that. I didn't know what that was for almost a year. I lived in Japan. I was like, why is there water running? But at my friend's house, they actually put a fragrance thing on there.
Oh.
So they put a soap there, so the water runs over the soap, so it actually smells nice after every flush.
Oh, nice.
So I thought that was just for making the soap like smell nice. And then one of my Canadian friends was like, "Hey, like, isn't it so cool that you can wash your hands in the washroom?" I was like, "Where?" And he's like, "You know, the water that comes out." And I was like,
That's
"What?
For washing your hands?"
For a year I lived in Japan. I didn't know that.
Oh my goodness.
So you figured that out.
Yes.
Quickly, which is kind of rare.
Ouch.
Mom's not slow, but
what?
Mom usually needs an explanation.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's not intuitive. Like sometimes it needs a little bit of help.
Sorry, Mom.
That's okay.
Okay, last question is, what are some things that you maybe didn't like in Japan?
Okay, so didn't like.
There's not many, I don't think.
I would say that the crowds were really tough for me. Yeah, I don't typically like crowds in general, actually really at all.
Yeah.
Right? So that part, and but having said that, I don't know, the crowds kind of have a flow about them. Like people seem to know where they're going, and nobody's ever bumped into me, which I think is amazing. And I never bumped into anybody, like, so I just trailed along behind Jacob the whole time, and for some reason it just works. I don't understand it, but
like everyone here, we're so used to it, like especially people who live in Tokyo, like we're so good at walking. Tokyo people are really good at walking. I never bump into anyone either, and it's kind of organized chaos. Like when it says stay on the left, everyone stays on the left.
They follow the rules.
They won't go on the right side because that would mess up the traffic. Same thing with like people waiting. No one will wait like in the center. They'll wait off to the side.
Yeah.
Which I think
courteous.
you learn that.
People are courteous, They don't stop in the middle. They go off to the side. It just has a natural flow, like, and the strange thing about it is a lot of them are on their phones, and I think there's a real skill to that because they're down looking at their phones, but yet they're
still moving.
You know, they're still moving, and they're not causing havoc. So I'm not really sure how that is, but I was quite amazed by it. So having never liked crowds, this was the most likable crowd, if you want to say it that way.
Because even the trains are like, there's so many people, but it's pretty quiet, right?
Well, it is, but even that, like boarding a train, like my experience, because I did some trains they have something called a Sky Train in Vancouver that I, as your age, I used to ride on the Sky Train. And it's chaos. Everybody's pushing to get on first. They're not waiting for people to get off. So, and I don't know if it's like that now. I really don't.
It's a little bit better now.
Yeah, but it's very organized. Like you wait off to the side, people come out, and then you go on, and it just works.
They make it easy too because there's music playing too.
Yeah.
So people will know when the music stops. That's when you know the doors are gonna shut soon. In Vancouver, our trains don't have that.
I don't think I knew that.
You didn't notice?
No.
Well,
I knew there was music playing, but I didn't know that was the reason why.
Yeah. So that when the music stops, the doors are gonna close soon.
Oh, okay.
And every station has different music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get that actually.
That's why some sleeping people, they'll wake up when they hear their stations.
Okay, there were a lot of sleeping people on the train. That was new for me too. I'd never seen that before, where people are actually asleep on the plane, or on the train rather.
Do you know why we don't see them in Canada like that? Because in Japan, no one's gonna steal your stuff. Whereas in Canada, if you fall asleep on the train, it's possible that someone could take your phone.
Yeah, they'll use that as an opportunity to help themselves.
You're probably still safe. Canada's okay for that, but you can't, it's not 100%. So I wouldn't be happy if I fell asleep in Canada. I would be a little bit worried if everything, I would check my bags.
Yeah.
Whereas in Japan, I sleep on the train. That's like part of my routine is sleeping.
Yeah, the security or the knowing of that your things are okay. Like I saw many people on the train where I just like horrified at first too, where you know their wallets in their back pocket, and I'm like, with all this crowd, like it would be easy just to pick it up. In fact, we actually found a wallet on the train, didn't we?
Yeah, we found a wallet, and well, yeah, I found the wallet, so of course we brought it to the station staff, and I just told them we found it at this station, and boom, we give it to them, and that person will
get
it back, just like me.
How it should be.
Because I left my passport in a small bag on the Shinkansen bullet train, and I was lucky to get it back, but I wasn't that worried about it. I was stressed out because passport is very important, but I kind of knew I was going to get it back.
Yeah, you told me that, and I'm like, I was more stressed out than you were about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So security was another surprise, actually, when I think of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So would you come back to Japan again?
I definitely will be coming back, especially if you're here, Jacob. Right. Well, actually, not especially, only if you're here, because I need your guidance, and yeah, I definitely would come back. There's so much more to see here.
I think it was a little bit hot, so I recommend coming in October, November, or like April next time.
Right.
She came in September, and I thought it would be okay. I knew it's gonna be hot, but we had a especially hot September. Whereas now, like today, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if you come back, October is better.
Definitely, yeah.
Or April. I think my sister's coming in April, so if you want to join that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Is April okay then?
Yeah, April. Yeah. The end of April starts getting warmer, but like that's cherry blossom season. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know if she'll have me, but maybe I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, overall, we love Japan, right?
Yes. Yes, and I now see why Jacob's so passionate about Japan. So this is why I came.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
It was fun for me too, like showing you and Mom's boyfriend around. It was also his first time. It was kind of cool to see your guys' reactions, because I forget. I'm not a tourist anymore. Yeah. So when you guys are like, whoa,
what's that?
Super toilet. I'm like, oh yeah, it's normal.
Yeah.
Or when you're like, whoa, there's a boy walking home alone. I'm like, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
right?
So
like,
true.
yeah. So it was cool for me seeing that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And there will. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And there will be more Japan content coming up soon. Yeah, I'll be here in Japan for about 6 more weeks. And then I'll be back in Canada with Mom.
Yeah, thanks for helping me.
Yes, but thank you for coming, Mom.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, so we'll go to the airport tomorrow. So we got to finish packing. It's kind of late now.
Yeah, we've got a few bags still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.